You're not gonna tempt me.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Right Reality Podcast. Boy, do we have an episode this week. One of the best episodes of television I've ever seen in my entire life. God damn it, do I love this show. And my name is Stephen.
And my name is Mixie. We are here to And my name is Mixie. We are here to recap the best episode of Temptation Island. Season 5, Episode 7, Message in a Box.
B-O-X, box.
What's in the box?
A lot of messages. And a lot of them were not great efforts.
They weren't.
Piss poor efforts from like nearly half the people.
Yeah, I honestly, it was impressive. Some of these people need to like sell cars or like be given a paper and asked to make it reach the second page. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of words that were said that meant absolutely nothing. Really impressive from Gone Girl and from Doorway. They said absolutely nothing while words were coming out of their mouth. Things were being said, but nothing was said.
I think we can, like, those were the bottom two. We could throw Maricela in there. That didn't really do anything for me. Just a really bad effort, and then her response to that. We will get to that. There is so much to unpack. Trace 2.0 just being, like, completing her story arc of Trace 1.0 in an amazing fashion.
Yeah.
Mixie has told me she's still not sure what Ass of the Week is at this point.
I am not. It's stressful. This was the most stressful Ass of the Week episode I've ever been given, and in the best way, because there was so much ass to choose from, as they typically do deliver to me. One of the best endings that I've seen from this season, and we talked about this last episode. You brought it up. They kill it with their endings, and this one was the best one yet. I mean, I have so many notes, you guys. I mean, I don't even know if I should show you how many.
Oh, my God.
It's ridiculous. We have so much to get into. I want to get into it right away. And the first note I have is the very first shot. We ended the last episode with a bunch of banging. And we started this episode with everyone waking up from their post-bang.
That is correct.
I had to rewind the very first clip of the couples in bed. Was that Maricela and the guy with the good hair?
I believe so. I don't recall now.
I couldn't tell. I could not figure it out. I knew that Trace 2.0 and Great and Respectable Whore and the girl who messaged us and shout out the pod on Instagram. Thanks so much. I forget your name. Really appreciate you though.
Alexis.
Curly hair. Very pretty. I know it was them too, but the first couple, I'm assuming it was Maricela. I couldn't really tell. There's so many people fucking now, which is so great, that I can't figure out who they're showing us in these bed scenes anymore.
They should really I figured it out immediately. Whoever does the graphics and the call outs specifically for the challenge, when we don't need them, they need to move to Temptation Island. Just move over there and do your little call-outs right there. That's what we need. Just follow, like put it on their butts as they're getting out of bed, and just track them. And I go, oh, that's so-and-so.
Genius. I like that idea a lot. It was difficult to tell. And it's funny because I think back to the first season we recapped of Temptation Island last season, where there was so little banging that we kept saying, please bang, please bang. And when people would bang, they would stretch those clips out or they would cut in between them at the beginning and ends of episodes so that it like really kept the banging in every episode they tried to. But there's so much banging this season that they don't have enough time to show us who's banging. Great problem to have.
As well as the locations of the bangs. Like we ended up with another shower scene this week. There was banging in a car last week. We're doing it in the bed. We're spooning in hammocks. We got girls eating each other's ass. And I guess that doesn't turn the light on.
Maybe it did. Who knows? I feel like the light, they can't keep turning it on. That's the other issue with the light. If the light turns on and multiple people in the other house are doing shit, is the light just going to be for all of them? Or do they wait till it turns off and then it, it residuals? It stays around and it has to stay on longer, or it turns off then turns off back on immediately. What are the logistics of the switch?
Did he pull out? Do we turn it off now? Like, do we turn it back on for round 2, or did we get the point across?
When it's pulling out, is it off? And then when it goes in, it's on. And it's just the poor guy has to sit there and watch the camera and be like, oh.
Yes. When all else fails, just turn the light on if we're a little nervous about it.
That's absolutely fair.
Do you want to know how I knew this was going to be an amazing episode to start, Mixie?
Oh, I can't wait. Let me know.
Because Trace 2.0 was eyeing Tammy down in the pool. Tammy, who was hanging on great, she's eyeing her down, and I go, Trace 2.0 is going to drown this bitch in the pool. Like, Tammy is just living her life, trying to flirt with Great, as you would do, because that's what this show's about.
He is not good looking. Sorry.
And Trace 2.0 says just a wild line, which comes back later. She goes, I guess he just loves the attention. Yes. Have you met any men?
Or women.
Like you later in the episode. Trace 2.0? What a wild thing to say. And yes, you might only, like, I think it's different with women. Women, I will probably not right to say because I'm not a woman. I don't identify.
Go ahead. Generalize. No, please. The floor is yours. I would love to hear this. Go ahead. All women, what?
Are you loving attention from men that you just don't find attractive? Like, if a gross guy is like, hey, you're looking good, you're like, fucking gross. But literally, a gross lady could be like, hey, you're looking good today. I like your shirt. And I'd be like, thanks. That really makes me feel good, you disgusting mess of a human being. I feel like it's different in that regard. Like,
it is.
You have to find the guy attractive to like the attention. Because if not, it's fair. Like, you don't get to say nice ass, but if it's a hot like guy shirtless and he's like nice ass, you're like, oh my god, is it? I don't know. I've been doing some squats. I don't know. I guess it's working.
Shut up.
But if the construction guy's like great ass, you're like, fuck you, asshole.
This is not for you.
Yeah. As somebody who lived in New York, and I'm sure catcalling was a thing you were made aware of from time to time.
Oh yeah, I heard them. They were fun. They were great. I love it all. That whole everything she says that comes out of her mouth is so, it's either not real and it wasn't what happened, or it's so blatantly obvious that, like, duh, men enjoy having attention. Men enjoy girls throwing themselves at them. Wow, I'm shocked.
Oh my god.
They showed a clip of that, and then she said something like, in her ITM, she said something like, oh, we're going to need to have a talk about that. And then they cut to the girls' villa, and I was like, god damn it. This fucking Trace 2.0 great back and forth situation is going to be a conversation throughout this entire episode, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I'm over these two. They're perfect for each other. We get it. It's so Trace 2.0, it's not even funny.
I really wasn't looking forward to that, but then, like a savior from the gods, the heavens, Mr. Marky Mark walks in to the women's villa, and I always know we're about to get great stuff when Mr. Marky Mark shows up, just like when Mr. TJ walks into the house and you're like, something's going down. Yeah. Something's happened, right? So he walks in and he informs everyone.
Well, hold on. Something happened before that needs to be discussed. He walks in a fire shirt, by the way, and I saw him on Twitter. He gave his stylist some credit. I know he's picking him. I know, sure, the stylist comes in with a few options, but I know that man, and I know he has style, and he's like, that one. I see you, Mark. But he walks in, and Gone Girl says, there's my guy, and he goes, there's my girl, and I don't think I've ever been more jealous in my life. That is not your guy, Gone Girl. He is my guy. I've known him longer than you. Go fuck yourself. He's mine. I will not share. Sharing is not an option. And you cannot have him back off. Thank you. Okay, you can continue.
Polite golf clap. Way to put Gone Girl in her place. She just... here's the thing. Gone Girl just likes to claim whatever and pretend like nobody knows anything otherwise.
She claims some wild shit later in the episode.
Oh my god, does she? What an absolute crazy thought. But this is... I'm sorry. I guess I should apologize. I should learn and grow. What do I think I'm getting from Gone Girl? Do I think I'm getting rational expectations? Somebody is like thinking things through and going, oh, maybe this is a correct thing to say. These are not. No. That's on me. That's on me, guys. I'm sorry about that. Oh.
It's okay. You can take a step back and you can learn and grow. And honestly, I shouldn't be expecting anything different as well. So I will DM her an apology and make a public statement later today.
And we'll both take a step back? Is that what we're going to do?
I don't feel like stepping back. I'm pretty sure I've stepped far enough back that if I step back again, I'm going to fall off the cliff backwards.
You go back the other way. You've like gone off.
Yeah, I've gone all the way around the world. I've stepped back so many times. I'm back to the beginning.
That's what happens sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I got to start manifesting. That's on me.
You got to manifest your way back to the front lines. That's what it is. That's it. Now. Yeah. So after Gone Girl makes a ridiculous statement that she apparently has Mark, I would like Mr. Marky Mark's wife to walk in, kick that door down, and be like, "Don't fucking try it, bitch. Don't try it.
I would love
Don't
that
try
too.
it. Me and Mixie claim him. Okay."
Yeah,
That's
I share
fine.
Mark with his wife.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Respectfully, I share it with his wife. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
He says it's time to send messages to your partners. You're going to send messages. It's going to be great. We're looking forward to this. I cannot wait for the messages. And then he says something else that was not what I was expecting in the slightest, but that is what I'm coming to expect from this season.
Yes.
He says that the singles will also get to send messages. Why, Mixie? Why do they get to send messages?
Well, because this is their journey too, Stephen. Duh.
Listen, I guess I also need to take a step back because we've been saying that they're not main characters. They shouldn't have main character energy. But as we very clearly know on this television program, what Mark says is factually correct all the time, and we shouldn't question it.
I'm questioning that part, though, because this has nothing to do with them. Are they going to start getting their own bonfires? Like, are we going to inception the bonfires? Like, at the bonfires, the girls just talk about the guys they're banging, and then after that, the guys they're banging come to a separate bonfire, and Mr. Marky Mark's just stuck on that awful wooden seat with his little pillow and a screen that is way too small for the people on the other side to see. I can't. That's not a life for him to live.
No, he shouldn't have to deal with that. That's not what we've come to expect from our guy. He deserves better, okay?
Can't have that many main characters. It's not possible.
And I'm like, are all the guys going to send a message? How does this work? Are they all in the room together? Are they sending individual messages? Do they send it to each of the guys? Unless you're banging one of the guys or girls, do you get to send a message? If I'm not banging, am I not sending a message? Are they required to send it? You know, what is King F-Boy going to say?
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. I need a whole lot of answers.
We didn't get any. But I will say, there was a point in this where I had to, like, pause. Paris, with her natural hair with that flower in it. I'm sorry, croissant with her hair and that flower. She is stunning. She is like, she reminds me of Justine from The Challenge. Just naturally beautiful, change the hair, change the makeup, change the clothes, no matter what. 10 out of 10. I just had to say something because she looked fantastic this whole episode with that pink like 2-piece that she came out with at the end and that with the message in the box. Oh my God.
I think she thought she was on a Prado runway, for God's sake.
She should be
fucking strutting it. I go, wow, croissant. Look at you. Fucking strut it.
That like black jumpsuit with the cutouts for the underboob. It's just, she looked so good this entire episode. Not that she hasn't in the past, but it got to a point where I was like, I need to verbalize this to the hotties and everyone listening. She might be one of the prettiest people I've seen on television. Just killer.
But she looks like she's like 4'10" maybe. She is a tiny human being. A tiny human being.
Yes, she is.
Strut it, girl. Strut it.
Yes. And then we cut to the singles reacting to being able to send messages. And I think Christian with the perfect hair has the right idea. Why the fuck would you say anything to the guy who's technically dating the girl that you are banging? Why the fuck would you say anything? Why would you get involved in that at all? You're already way too involved to begin with. You're weirdly involved without saying anything.
Your penis is involved, so your mouth can't be involved. It's just not. it goes basically completely against everything guys are about. Like, you're just like, I can't do it.
But
you
then
just can't.
Yeah, and then we jump to fucking Trace 2.0. So we see Christian. He's like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna get involved. Boom, Trace 2.0. I can't wait to talk to Paris. I have so much to say to her. Ugh.
Awful. And then our boy Doorway looks at Michaela and goes, well, I think Michaela originally said off camera, well, I'm not going to send one. Mm-hmm. Because what we did see on camera is Doorway going, you don't want to talk about how special I am? And then Michaela goes, to your fiance? No.
Michaela seems to be the only one out of that relationship of those two that remembers that Doorway is engaged and still in a relationship with somebody else.
Yeah, and I was talking about this with Mom LaFranc, who is loving the show, by the way.
Hell yeah.
And she's very jealous that we get to watch these episodes early, so she has to like literally wait until the podcast is posted before we can actually talk about it.
That sucks.
I know. I feel bad for her. But she's like, it's just so weird that they haven't even kissed. And I'm like, well, it's not like these other people who have been in a relationship for 2 years and they're just all throwing it away. Like, they're literally engaged. And like, if you start making out or banging while you're engaged again in that part of the country, like, I don't know how you come back from that. Mm-hmm. That's just like a really tough thing to do. Mm-hmm. But it is just, I love how like some of them very clearly are like, yeah, I'm not going to do shit. I mean, she did send one, but
she did.
That's neither here nor there. I think that's why they took out the part of her going, I'm not going to send one.
I think that she got a little bit of the Bryce extra dough this mm-hmm. week for sending that message. I don't think that was her first choice at all.
We took the liberty of writing it for you too. Mm-hmm. We just infuse some words that we feel like might make Oates just walk out into the ocean and get swept away.
I'm shocked she hasn't yet. I know that there hasn't been
Poor
a bonfire
girl.
Since he's been like just blatantly like, I'm not getting back with her.
I mean, she might walk out at the beginning of the next episode right into the waves after this. So
yeah, it broke my heart. She said to the camera after they, just said they're going to do the messages. She looks at the camera and she says, this is a make or break it moment. And I go, oh, sweetheart, it's broken already. That was a while ago. Buddy, it's broken. It's in a lot of pieces. It's not just snapped in half. It is all over the place. Honestly, it's been put through the paper shredder and bits of the paper have been dropped in different locations so that it's physically impossible for it to get put back together.
And she's like, I have a piece of paper. And I'm like, honey, that's a copy of a copy.
That's not the original.
It's not the original, babes. Like, it's going to be fine. Come to Los Angeles. Hang out with me for a weekend and see how it goes. Anywho, now we get to the part of the story that we were dreading. Is we knew that Trace 2.0 and Great were going to have a large part of this episode. And ladies, we used to give a lot of PSAs here at The Right Reality. We haven't done one in a while because, when we do PSAs, we want to make sure they're the right types of PSAs.
Yeah.
Here's a PSA. Mm-hmm. Ladies, listen up. If you want to talk about how your man, and I put that term loosely in air quotes because he's not your man. He's technically somebody else's still. If you want to talk about how your man doesn't communicate and then you go and pull shit like this, she clearly wants to talk about Tammy, okay? When she walks up to him, she clearly wants to talk about Tammy.
Yeah.
And how she's afraid at the party, Great is going to just continue to allow the Tammy attention. Mm-hmm. So she's like, oh, he doesn't communicate well. And then she just throws out an awful opener to try to talk about it. And she's like, well, if he just brings it up, I guess I could talk about it. She starts with this absolutely insane thought process of going, okay, I know what I'm going to say. She goes, what's your plans for the party?
Do you know how many hours she like sat in her room and thought about how she was going to say it, and that's what she landed on too? Like, you know that was not her first draft of what she was going to say either.
Wild. She workshopped that.
She did.
And Great did what I just did and was like, I'm sorry, what was that? What are my plans for the party? Well, I guess I'm going to try to have fun because it's a party. Did you not listen to the words you just said out loud? It's a party. What are my plans? Have you met me? I'm going to have a fucking great time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell. And then what do you think I'm going to do? And then Mixie, she tries to follow it up with some even more insane shit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to try to tell you what not to do. Okay. That usually is you leading me into telling me what you don't want me to do.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, well, I just kind of asked you to clarify what you don't want me to do because you said, if you're the one complaining about the communication and then you're like, well, I don't want to tell you what to do. And he's like, can you clarify so we're on the same page? Communication, like a relationship that you want to be in.
Uh-huh.
Trace, what are you doing, Trace?
I don't even know what her real name is at this point, which is even funnier. I loved that at that point she says, you're not listening. While he's trying to like talk to her, and she goes, you're not listening, which it doesn't matter if he's listening or not. You're speaking in tongues right now. Like, what you're trying to say is not actually coming out of your mouth.
Yes.
And you're not listening because you're interrupting him to tell him that you're not listening. It's so backwards. It's so backwards.
That is a favorite thing of mine when somebody goes, you're not listening, while interrupting the person, which clearly they're trying to explain something to them.
Means you're not listening.
Yeah, you just can't yell over somebody and go, you're not listening. Allow them to finish their crazy rhetoric, and then you go, that's not what I asked you. You clearly weren't listening.
Uh-huh.
And then follow it up again.
Yep.
That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Because then she goes even so far, continuing with that, where he's like, can you clarify? And she's like, well, I don't, just anything that would be disrespectful of me. And I go, oh, you mean like having a girlfriend and getting in bed with him the past few nights? You're shocked a man like that would not like the attention of another hot woman who's throwing herself at him? What are you talking about, Trace 2.0? Anything that would be disrespectful? Who are you? He's known you for 7 days, Trace 2.0.
Again, I say this so many times. I just want to be able to live in a delusion land that these people live in. Like in this upside down, left is right world where you can just decide something means something, or decide that whatever rule you're putting on one person doesn't apply to you. Like, it's just so funny to me. I want to know how they like justify it in their brain, or if they truly aren't thinking about it at all. I also am jealous of that. I would love to say words and not think about them for days after.
To me, it's the people who are clearly lying to themselves who do this, because they just want to say as many words as possible to try to explain their way out of the situation.
Yeah.
And then they don't realize that they just set themselves into a trap, because that's exactly how she followed this up.
Uh-huh.
The word vomit continued. In her interview, ITM, she goes, maybe he's just oblivious or doesn't know what boundaries are or what not to cross when you're dating someone in the villa. I would venture to say, Trace 2.0, in the villa, there are no boundaries or rules. This is the place you go to fuck other people while still in a relationship. So therefore, there are no boundaries or rules in the villa. Oh, when you're dating somebody in the villa, you can't give any attention to anybody else. You mean like in the real world? That's why they're here. Trace, what's going on? And then she closes out this entire thing. She goes, well, when we get out of here, we just don't have to talk. We don't even have to speak again.
I love that. That's a great one, too. What the fuck is that?
She's really completed the Trace 1.0 storyline.
Mm-hmm. She has.
She watched last year and was like, I got to write down, this girl is fucking great. Let me write all this shit
Bars.
down. What was that?
Bars.
Oh, great. What a great hit. Why does everybody dislike this girl? I think she's great. Let me write that down. Oh, you don't have to talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Oh, but when I say I don't want to talk to you, I'm going to follow it up later at the party by literally shaking my tits at you while you're talking to some other girl, trying to distract you.
And then she's like, just don't talk to me. Leave me alone. Yeah. Don't talk to me. Which I would like to.
Like, great.
Let's all put a pin in that. Put a pin in the fact that the end of the conversation was her telling him not to talk to her. We will come back to that later.
I don't want you to talk to me. You clearly don't understand boundaries, right? Mm-hmm. I love this is a thing people throw out now. We just have to learn how to set boundaries. Mm-hmm. No, we all don't. Like, you set boundaries for people who don't respect you.
Yes.
Boundaries are not needed for regular human beings who aren't assholes to each other, okay? So if you're setting a boundary, you're like, I have to set boundaries for our relationship. Not a great relationship. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. You know who I don't have to set boundaries with? People who like me and I like them. And we have respect for each other. Never set a boundary with those people.
It's easy. It do be that easy, though.
If you're sitting there at home and you're like, you know what? I got way too many people in my life. You know, I got too many things. Think about the people you've set boundaries with. Do you really need them? Maybe you can get rid of that person. I don't know, Mix. Am I crazy for this? I don't know.
Just break up.
Just get rid of them. Unfollow them.
Unfollow. Honestly, just cut them out. Don't say a word. Don't tell them why. They don't deserve it. Fuck them.
Fuck them. Stop muting people in your stories. Unfollow them, okay? If somebody's only giving you inspirational quotes in their story, fuck them. Get them out of there. The only thing they post is when they're on vacation and makes you feel bad about you never getting to go on a vacation. Unfollow them.
We've taken a pivot, but this is very good advice. We should cut this into a TED Talk, honestly.
Stephen Mixie's rules for success in 2023.
Yes. Before we get to so many absolute batshit things happening, one thing that kind of happened out of nowhere, in my opinion, they cut to Roberto, who is all over. I still can't remember her name. Desi? Can I call her that? Des?
Yeah, Des or Desi or Desiree.
So again, they are showing him all over this girl and then cutting to an ITM I want to be very specific about, saying that he's not sure if he wants to. He's not sure about Des, who he still, like I said, is making out with on the couch. He's in his ITM saying that he's unsure and he might go back to Gone Girl. This is all editing, right? Like, we're in agreement that this is just an editing ploy because I refuse.
I don't know. I'm starting not to know. I can't remember what my pick was last week because I think they started to set this up last week.
I have it. Do you want it?
Okay. I think I said there's like an outside chance that this could happen. It was concerned me.
We discussed. We said no, and I believe you said no, but there is a slight possibility. But we said we weren't going to do gray area, so we stuck with no.
Okay. Yeah, I listen. I want it to be editing. I really want it to be editing.
I still think it's editing. I'm praying.
Because listen, if my options are between Gone Girl and Des, like I'm a rational human being. I just discussed that. It's Des 100 times out of 100.
How is that even like a comparison? Like, you can't even.
It's like, do you want to walk on Legos or have a pizza? I'm gonna have the pizza.
Air horns. That was amazing. And that was so accurate too. That's literally what it is.
I surprised myself with that one.
That was a great one. Oh, God. Write that down, everyone. We see the guys, they're doing their party, they're doing their alien shit. I'm like, okay, classic, guys are having a great party.
I'm sorry, it's a future party.
Whatever.
They were just up for space, but it was a future party.
It was neon and silver and asses.
Oh yeah.
Ass for days again. And I'm like, okay, great. The guys are having a good party again, as they always do. And finally, Stephen, we have a good party at the girls' villa. We are on episode 7? We finally got one.
I think the producers of this show know I have a weakness for country girls, and they're just like, we know you're starting to fall for Oates. Her relationship's falling apart. Let's just show Oates being like a classy cowgirl with that hat on. It's really going to fuck with Steve's mind. And it did. It did. Right when I was ready for Tammy to ruin Trace's night at the other one, they showed me the thing, and I was like, oh, there's my girl. Look at her. Giddy up. Giddy up, Oates.
Stephen, it was a fantastic compilation of all of these people having a great time, looking great, feeling great, partying it up. And then my jaw hits goddamn ground. Out of nowhere, we have the highest paid cast member knuckles deep in Vanessa's cheeks from multiple angles, obviously becoming this week's
I hate everything.
Ass of the week. Ass of the week.
If you're watching on YouTube, you realize I did not dance. I always dance for Ass of the Week. I am not dancing out of protest.
Stephen, come on. I even texted you a photo of it because I couldn't wait. I have never seen an outfit or a shot. I mean, and they had to have been out there for so long for that cameraman to be like perfectly centered it, and then they got a side angle like zoomed in of just like this.
Maybe are you saying that maybe this was staged, that maybe whatever producer, Bryce, listen, we know a lot of you are listening to the podcast. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Cast of Temptation Island. Shout out to all of you. Bryce, DM us, let us know the producer's name who walked up there and took your hands and put them on her ass. Who was it?
No, they had like 100 on the ground and they had it connected to a fishing line and they like went like this and they got him to the spot they needed and then they were like, Vanessa.
Bryce is literally like, my hands were behind my back. That was fucking AI'd on there.
They CGI'd his hands.
I didn't do shit. That was CGI. That was like, Fast and Furious 10. They CGI'd my fucking hands right in her crack. I didn't do shit. Man. But if a producer came up and did it, who was it? Let us know so we can never talk to them again.
That was absolutely wild, and that was just the beginning of the wild that happened in the girls' villa. Maricela could not find a single ounce of a shit to give anymore, and it is beautiful. I love it so much. She is all over great hair, dude. She is all over the girls. We then had at one point fucking Croissant and Maricela were making out.
Wow.
And Vanessa was clearly drunk, which honestly I think is the only way I would take her. And she was like, is this what happens when we stay up late?
Yeah, it usually does. Alcohol and being up late usually leads to people kissing like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, go for it, ladies. I was half expecting all three of them to be in the bed at the end of the night. Honestly,
I was too. I was like, are we going to finally get like a threesome? Or
I thought we were getting a threesome.
Honestly, Maricela and Croissant going after it would be fine too. And Christian's just in the back brushing his hair. Like, oh, okay, this is cool. I like this. This is sick.
I was like, what's going on? How did this came out of nowhere? Like, we learned at the beginning she was all about the ladies, and it's like, oh, maybe she's going to make out with him at one point. But I just feel like Maricela has like completed her story arc too of being like codependent on Respectable Whore, and now right out of that one I took 35 seconds off of that relationship and I am now completely codependent on Great Hair Guy. I am full in. I never leave his side. I'm constantly straddling him. I don't go anywhere unless my legs are wrapped around this man. He carries me everywhere.
Yes, that does seem to be the case. I would like to also state for the record, I never saw her and Respectable Whore like, yes, they were glued to the hip, but not in like a romantic way. They were just like, it was almost like they physically could not move from room to room without being next to each other, but they weren't like how she is with Great Hair Guy.
Draped on him. Yeah, because it's something new.
That's
and,
true, yes.
Barney Stinson told us anything from How I Met Your Mother. It's new is always better. Always better.
Yes.
I've learned the best things in my life from Barney Stinson on How I Met Your Mother.
And then at the end of the party, the girls started recreating what they saw on at their last bonfire. We had Oates licking some cream off of King Fuckboy. We had fucking Maricela eating croissants. Ass. The only reason that did not get ass of the week, by the way, everyone, is because you could clearly see thong bikini situation. They clearly covered her up a little bit. I mean, come on. That shot of fucking Vanessa getting her ass just held. I had to. It was difficult, but I had to do what I had to do. There was multiple angles of the pool ass shot.
We discussed this before coming on, and she was struggling because she said, I even said, you can't eat ass and not get ass of the week. And I go, okay, so that has to get it. And she's like, I still don't know. And I was like, wow. It just shows rules are meant to be broken.
Sometimes, except for other rules that cannot be broken.
Okay. Okay, got it. Understood clearly. Yeah, I saw this whole ass eating situation in the whipped cream. I go, oh, Mixie's going to write a fucking thesis for a master's degree or a PhD on this fucking scene right here. Like ass eating on reality television by our girl Firecracker Mick.
Again, the basic porn that we're watching is insane.
Yeah. And they're just like pretending like it's not. They're not even trying to like blur anything or like put a black bar so it looks worse than it is. They're like, no, it's 9:00 on USA. Who's watching? We got divorcees in like 30 minutes banging each other while their ex-husband or wife's in the villa.
Yeah.
This is what we do here. This is what it is. We got wrestling and we got people banging each other and their asses out.
We got ass eating and we have wrestling, which sometimes go hand in hand.
USA. Characters welcome. I don't know if they're still using that as their tagline, but shout out USA. Also, whoever runs the USA Temptation Island Twitter, we're running this fucking Twitter game. I need more than one retweet or like each week, okay? Like, let us take the controls for the week.
Yeah, just give us the keys to the car.
Come on, one time. Please. We're ready. Look back at our history this week, last week, the week before. A+, tweets left and right. I got gifts being made for shit. Come on.
Yeah, make sure you check us out on Twitter, guys. Steven's been killing the game, and I have drafted, because this episode was so insane, I have drafted a couple tweets for next week, so we will be switching off on Twitter to whenever you watch this
I like
episode.
Twitter, but we also, if you're not following us on Instagram, just follow us on Wednesday nights, because we take photos or little video clips, and we just like make them into memes, and it's really fun.
I don't know why you're saying we. It's you. You do all the work.
I do text you. I go, I need another one for this.
Yeah.
And then like 45 minutes later, I was like, well, I've already moved on by the time you replied. So
things were happening.
Something else.
Okay. So that was the girls' party. It is time for us to travel to the men's villa for the men's party.
I don't want to go back there.
I don't either. And it's funny because we always talk about how the guys have better parties, but this one was just nails on a chalkboard.
Oh. Tammy is trying to do the Lord's work by talking to Great and saying, quote, where should we go kiss? Mm-hmm. Bravo, Tammy. Let's go, Tammy.
Yep.
But Great will not be deterred. And he goes, where's Abby?
What the fuck is that? This whole Abby part of this situation, honestly, nail in the coffin for me with Great. He says, and I quote, I was trying to give her the spotlight. Who the fuck are you? She has the spotlight. According to Mark, this is her journey too. So yeah. You don't need to give her shit.
Wild statement from Great. I think Great knew. He's like, listen, if I do anything with Tammy, Trace is going to be done. But if I like do something with Abby, she'll let it go. And guess what? That's exactly what fucking happened.
Well, they cut to her like glaring at him, and she says something like, once again, Great isn't talking to me and is talking to the other girls. We ended the conversation with you telling him not to talk to you.
Yep. Great said, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm the main character here. And I was like, yeah, you are, Great. None of you single bitches are the main characters. You tell him. You tell Mr. Marky Mark what's going up. And while he's trying to run his game on Abby, which...
The only game Great has is asking girls to take shots with him. What are we, in high school?
Hey, you want to take a shot?
Hey, we're at my best friend's parents' basement. We have this, like, undescribed liquid in this water bottle. Do you want me to pour you one? Do you want me to give you a shot of this? Then we can go make out in the game room.
In the game room? In the game room? There's a game room?
I don't know. This is high school shit.
Hey, we got my parents have a bottle of Goldschlager. You want a shot?
Do you want to hide in the closet where all the Monopoly board games are and we can share it?
I don't know if you ever had this is like a foreign import. It's called Canadian Club. Have you had this before? It's pretty good. The burn means it's good.
Yeah.
Right? That means it's good. Yeah. It's not meant to be smooth, girl. It's supposed to burn all the way down. Yeah. So while he's running his freshman year in high school game, that poor, desperate loser, Trace 2.0, is in the background just being so sad. And what do the kids call it? There's like
annoying.
No, she's definitely annoying. I can't remember the term, and I apologize. It's like when you're like, simping. Simp. She's a simp. She's simping in the background. That poor, desperate simp in the background, just shaking his tits at him. Did you see that?
I don't think that you're using that correctly.
Okay, I'm not using it right. Okay, she's just desperate and sad, and she's literally just sitting there, just like shaking her tits at him.
That was amazing. He's trying to have a conversation. You see her in the background just
shaking him.
That's not simping. That's just sad.
Pathetic effort. Just jealous. It's just clearly jealousy. And it worked. He knew what he needed to do. And it worked. He's just like, what are your other options in here? There are none for you. I literally have one other girl who would like blow me right here in front of all of you. You have no other options here. I'm in control. I am the captain now. I mean,
that's exactly what he was doing. And then we cut to they're both naked in the bathroom, running around the corner to go into the shower.
Awful.
But croissant is embarrassing. Great, by the way.
I mean, I have some questions about the bathroom setup. I don't know if you saw all that.
Yeah, very confusing.
Many questions, but whatever happened to we don't have to talk again? Like she was like she came up to him and she's like, you're being messy and ghetto. And I was like, oh my God. And then they come over with the shots and they're like, we're talking. And Tammy's like, yeah, I have eyes. Like, how awful of a situation.
Yeah.
Okay. This bathroom. We have to discuss this bathroom.
I'm starting to think that they weren't going in the shower. I feel like they know that they don't have cameras in the toilet. Like if there's like rooms
the
where
toilet was exposed. Did you not see it?
But
it's like out there where the camera is.
Yes.
There was a bidet and a toilet and like a tub that was in the ground.
But I think that it's like one of those like bigger bathrooms that has like multiple. Because it's like behind the mirror. I guess it could have been the shower. I agree. That bathroom was incredibly confusing.
Very strange. I was like, there's a camera where they're taking shits and using a bidet?
Yeah, it's weird. I also think that's illegal.
I don't think they can do that. So maybe it's, I don't know. There definitely can't be a camera there. They can't do that.
Yeah.
So, who knows what the hell's going on?
Well, that continues into the morning. What the hell is going on? I actually, Stephen, I don't even want to repeat this. I need you to just play the clip. So if you could do me a favor and allow our audience to just rewatch this.
Pull over real quick if you're driving.
You allowed me to do what I got to do, and you kind of trusted me, I guess.
Yeah, I was just letting you you just got to see it for yourself.
What? At what point did she trust you? At what point did she allow you to do what you needed to do, what you don't need to do, but you're deciding you need to do?
What alternate reality are we living in? Are you also hanging out with Sarah from The Challenge? Who are you hanging out with? Great? What world are we living in? It's great television, but it's just driving me nuts. These two are perfect for each other.
I agree.
I've determined it at this point. Just like She-Sells and Trace 1.0 last year, we're like, these two morons are perfect for each other.
Agreed. I think that we all as an audience agree. Nobody wants to see any more of this stupid shit. Show us everyone else. I want more croissant. I want way more croissant. The croissant levels in these last few episodes have been abysmal, and it's pissing me off. She is an icon, and I need more of it.
She was making out with King Fuckboy at some point, and then they were like, we're going to go somewhere. And then they don't show anything, so I can see this later? Where did they go?
Uh-huh.
Where did they go? Show me where they went.
Yes.
Am I supposed to believe they just went around the corner and played Parcheesi?
Nah, I think it was bingo. They seem like bingo people.
He's just like, bingo, bitch. Bingo, bitch. Bingo, bitch. Awful. 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 We are all worse off for witnessing what we witnessed there. And they're just like hanging out on the fucking raft like everything's peachy keen. Like they didn't like yell at each other 24. We don't have to talk outside of this. And she was threatening him. Well, you better not do anything that embarrasses me. And then all of a sudden, I'm glad that you let me do what I need to do. What did you do?
Painful. It's just even like just recapping it is painful. It makes me mad.
What's going on? What's going on? Okay. We go over to the women's villa.
Uh-huh.
And Maricela now, I have been certain for 2 weeks that she's getting it every 6 hours.
Oh.
They're banging every 6 hours.
Uh-huh.
Like on the low end, right? Because I don't know if we're still going on dates at this point, but if they are, she's probably banging out in the jungle somewhere too, with him, right? She just decides, you know what? The right reality needs just more stuff to talk about during this episode that's coming up. Let's just confuse the shit out of him. And she says, I'm just really happy getting to know someone physically without having sex. What's going on?
I mean, maybe
Have
they
you
aren't.
not been banging? Have you know there's a camera in your bedroom.
And in the shower.
What did you do in the shower? Just cleanse each other?
What a way to say it.
You woke up with your top off in the bed, but your bottoms were on? Are you trying to make us think that you didn't bang? Like, well, they're probably not going to show, like side banging like the last episode.
Like the spooning bunnies that they were.
But girl, you were on top of him. You took your top off. Am I not supposed to? Have you not been banging? Am I supposed to take her at face value here, Mixie? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know why she would say that unless she thinks they aren't going to show the banging. I mean, they banged. They had to have banged. There's no way they weren't banging. Like, there's no way, right? There's no way.
When you pull the covers over yourself in the bed on a reality television show, that means you're banging.
Well, even if they aren't like banging, you're hitting bases that aren't making out. So that's still sexual activity, and that would still fall under her saying that they getting to know each other physically without sex. I would say like blowing each other and shit. That's still sex.
Yeah, so am I supposed to believe they stopped at finger blasting? That's where we're drawing the line?
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm not buying that
finger
at all.
Blasting, like every time you say it, just like the visual of it. It's so much. Sometimes, like, it's just, I'm not telling you to stop. I just want you to know that it gives me a visual that's very aggressive.
Like those TikTok videos of the chef?
Worse. Way worse.
Worse? Whoa.
Like, I'm thinking, like, finger blasting is like you start here and then you end about here. You know what I mean? Like,
not what I was thinking at all.
Like, you take off here, but you do not exit into the atmosphere.
Like a SpaceX rocket? Yeah. Is that what you're thinking? T-minus 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Okay. All right. I got you. I'm just confused, Maricela.
That was very weird. That leads us into.
I'm not buying it. I'm
fair.
not buying it. I don't buy that they were not having sex. You could tell me you weren't having sex, but I'm not buying it, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I saw what I needed to see. I'm not buying it. I don't care. You're straddling this guy at every point, and I'm just supposed to believe that you're just like sitting there caressing each other in bed. No chance.
Yeah,
I'm not buying that.
Yeah. Also, he would be in a lot of pain, I feel like, if that is the case.
Yeah.
We go back to the men's villa, and there is a conversation that is being had that I'm not going to lie to you, I zoned out of most of it because it seemed like a legitimate conversation. When people are like being serious on this show, I really don't pay attention. But Respectable Whore and his girl, is it Alexis?
It's Alexis.
Okay.
Yes, it's Alexis. Yep.
I thought that was it. I just didn't want to say the wrong name. So
Yep.
he and Alexis are having a conversation. Did you remember any of this conversation? Because I don't.
Oh, I remember it very clearly, and I appreciate you bringing this up because this is one of the things that I really found thoroughly enjoyable. Yes, Respectable Whore and our new Instagram follower, Alexis, shout out Alexis, are chatting, and he says, whatever you're feeling, I'm feeling it too. Not a great thing to say, Chris. What if she's feeling bloated? Or constipated, or she feels like the government is overstepping by controlling women's bodies. Are you ready to like make that commitment to her to say that you're an ally? What if she doesn't want to go see Barbie and Oppenheimer as a double feature, and you do? You just can't throw out blanket statements like that, Chris.
What if she thinks that waking up at 9:30 is an acceptable time to wake up, and that clearly is not what he thinks? Or she thinks she has good credit, but he does not think she has good credit.
Yeah, you can't be feeling that too. Right? What if she enjoys on a day off not getting up till noon? And literally when she wakes up, she just lays in bed all day. Because what's she going to do? Go spend money that she may or may not have, that she's earned independent because she's an independent, strong woman?
Yeah.
What if she wants to not? Or on the other hand, since you want to have a high credit score, what if she's just like, you know what? I'm going to meet my friends. We're going to have drinks midweek on a Wednesday. I'm going to spend $40 on brunch on a Wednesday, go to the gym, come home, order $2,000 worth of DoorDash. Are you feeling that too? I would say you're not. So you can't throw out blanket statements like that.
Well, it gets better. Him with the blanket statements continue because she asked him how she knows that he's being sincere. He says he likes her. He is excited to explore things with her. She's like, how do I know you're being sincere?
Before you answer that, which was one of the best lines I've ever heard my entire life, ladies, let me just ask you, what can we say that there's nothing we can say that's going to get you to believe us there? So just stop asking the question.
I counter that you shouldn't be with somebody if you don't trust them.
Or don't bring it up.
Yep.
You're not at that point yet where they can
new.
make the commitment because you're new. So what is he going to give you? Like a, I don't know, like his stock options or something like that? Like the login to his crypto wallet? I don't know. Like, what do you do? What do the kids do now? Here's the password to my phone. I don't know. Like, what are the options?
I don't know how.
But I'll tell you what you don't say as the answer. Mixie, what was his answer?
So again, she asked how she can make sure that he's being sincere, and he responded with, I'm 30 years old.
Well, never mind. I completely believe you now.
Well, I will say, Stephen, you asked what the right answer is to that. Literally anything but that.
Yeah, that would have been better. You've been like, I like to pick pizza over walking on Legos, I guess. I mean, that. I just bought a new MacBook at home, and that's like a $1,700 investment. So I do like to invest into things. I like to not order the 6-piece tender meal at Cane's, and I do the 4-piece, so I don't feel like a big, fat asshole. I do that. Maybe you should believe me on that. Let's see. What else? I always take the trash out before it smells.
Oh, that's good.
I don't shove it in there to just stop myself from eventually taking it out. Maybe you can trust me on that. And then I would go 30. The age thing.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, because, Leonardo DiCaprio's are older than 30, and I don't know if we would trust him.
Yeah, but we have to trust him because he's over 30. So, according to respectable horror logic, which...
Whoa, hold on. I'm over 30.
Yeah, so everything you say is truthful and sincere. Congratulations.
I have to go do a bunch of things now with this new information.
Go run. You're free.
Oh, my God. I'm changing everything on my dating profile. Rich man, $1 million mansion in the hills.
You should put that on your Bumble. Just be like, worried about my sincerity? I'm 30.
I'm 30. Deal with it. Yeah. Are you worried that I'm going to cheat on you with somebody else? Don't worry. I'm 30. Oh, shit. God, I love this show so much.
So good. Then we go back to the girls' side. And we have Oates, who is still torn between two guys, which I don't really think she's torn between two guys at this point anymore. I'm pretty sure she's decided, but Michael will not accept that she has decided. So he pulls the most classic Hail Mary of dating shows possible. What does he do? He whips out that right reasons card. Right there.
Smacked it on the table like he's just pulling his dick out and being like, look at this sucker. Not here for the right reasons. Now, I will say, usually when you pull out the right reasons card, Mixie, it's because somebody is there looking for a real relationship. And it does seem like Oates, if she's going to move on from Doorway, wants something that's a little real. You're feeling that?
Uh-huh.
And I think Mike's like, listen, I mean, do I need to say it? I mean, as Mixie pointed out in episode 1, the earring, that should tell you everything you need to know. So, if I need to tell you he's not here for the right reasons and he's just, trying to be hot and maybe get on other shows, who knows? Just trying to grow a following. I don't need to say it. But Oates will not be deterred by that, Mixie.
Well,
she will not be deterred.
I'm happy to hear it because Oates should not believe a guy in an Aztec print fucking swim trunk.
Fucking shots fired.
Those were awful. Please set those on fire and never put them back on your body. I am trying to help you.
What's a good
anything
bathing suit outfit?
A color.
Flat colors? Just colors?
Fucking not what I wore as a bodycon skirt when I was 14 with a big ass owl necklace and Ugg boots.
Okay.
It's this print has not been cool for 10 plus years. Please get rid of it.
He's trying to be a trendsetter and bring it back. Why you gotta hate?
No. I don't ever want this to come back ever again, ever.
Noted.
No.
Absolutely noted.
No. The white guy in the Aztec print. It's a no-go.
It's a no-go, Mike. Change it up.
But she does get out of that conversation and skips, hops, and jumps over to my cross-dangly earring necklace boy, which also awful. Equally awful. That was my follow-up. I go, which one is worse? Equally
and you're
terrible.
saying they cancel each other out. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Sebastian or Sevi or whatever he wants to go by is laying on the thing right in the middle, which I always feel like pick a side. Don't sit in the middle of a fucking couch like that. What a weird choice. Anyway, he's in the middle, and then Oates comes over, and they're going to have a big conversation. You feel this has been brewing for 2 weeks now, that she's going to try to get some clarification on which one of these guys does she want to maybe start thinking about, even though, yes, she's still engaged and still clearly has feelings for Doorway. And she goes and talks to him, and boy, does our boy go through the greatest hits of the fuckboy vocab here.
He really does, doesn't he?
He created basically like an Eras tour, Taylor Swift like set list.
Yeah.
Of the greatest fuckboy hits you can play. Just like line after line, banger after banger, and just like, I'm just going to run through all of them right now.
Oh, great.
So ladies, if you're ever wondering if the guy you're talking to is a fuckboy, you just need to listen to these greatest hits. If you hear these at any point from a guy you're interested in, it is the time to run away, ladies. You run away. You don't ever look back. You don't go, well, I'm not finding anybody else. That guy was kind of interested. He's not interested. He's a fuckboy. Okay, here we go. He starts, you got to start the concert low. You got to bring the crowd into it. You can't just, boom, first hit right out of the bat. The first one is she goes, how are you feeling? And he does the classic, I don't know. Oh, what a classic. How are you feeling? I don't know. And it's not even a clear, you know what, Oates? I don't know. I really don't know right now. No. It's not that. It's the mumble. Oh. It's just like, oh, what a great hit. I remember this. Driving my car, listening to this great classic F-Boy album. I don't know. And second, he's like, well, I got to follow that up. I got to, crowd is into it now. I got to go with the second. He follows up with a classic, I don't know what to feel. And the crowd is just like, oh, yeah, I don't know what to feel. What a great, oh, God. What a great one. I don't know what to feel.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's hard for him.
I don't know what to feel. What am I supposed to do? What do I feel? My feelings? Oh, I don't know. Oh,
I haven't felt feelings since my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, man, the all-time classic. Oh, the all-time the chart topper. You're the first girl I've had feelings for since my ex, and it's scary. Oh, fucking number one album he brings out. Oh, it's
double platinum.
Yeah, double platinum gold, 1 billion streams on Spotify, my guy. Oh, God. Oh, and then he's like, you can't for the encore, you leave the stage after you play the big song, and people are like, what about that song? What about that song? Are they not going to play that song? They're coming back out. He comes back on stage for the encore mix, and he hits them with the fucking classic, I Don't Want to Get Hurt Either. And you're like, yes! The I Don't Want to Get Hurt Either! Fuck yes! Damn it, I thought we weren't maybe going to get that song, but I got it. Oh, what a great show this has been. I got all my classic F-Boy lines. Oh, I'm so glad I paid for this. He didn't even pay for my ticket to go to this. I had to pay. Oh, what a great show.
What a great show, honestly. And thanks to Sebi for being able to be so easily read.
Yeah. Yeah, and did you see Oates during that whole time? She's looking at him like, I'm 32 years old here. I am not a 24-year-old bright-eyed, bushy-tailed girl from the South here.
Yeah.
She's looking at him like, come on.
I mean, she knows.
Really? She knows?
I think she knew before she asked the question or even started having a conversation about it. She knows, and I also think she's mad that Michael was right.
Yes! Yes! She was like, well, he's hotter. Look at his 6-pack or 12-pack or whatever it is.
She wants to fuck Sebi, but Michael is a better long-term play.
Yes, and if I'm going to touch a guy who's not my fiance, am I going to touch the 6-pack or am I going to touch not a 6-pack?
Aztec print swim trunks.
Yeah, and she's going with that. That's what she wants. And you know what? That's fine. But Oates, you don't need to like go through the motions of having him play the greatest hits. What is also shout out to Oates' outfits in this episode.
Always.
She goes from country girl to the blue workout outfit, which was A+, and then that pink ruffled dress as she was getting ready to record her thing. Only person I saw with the script, by the way, was Oates.
Yeah.
She had a little script, a little printout of what she wanted to say.
I'm going to guess that Doorway had one just based off of what he said. I would like to end this with, I think we both agree that King Fuckboy is King Fuckboy because he does not want to get into anything serious, and I don't think that he actually has deep feelings for Oates, but I'd like to pass it.
Well, King F Boy is Croissant's guy.
That's right. I'm sorry. He is fighting for the title, though. He is. They are duking it out in the ring.
I mean, he played all the greatest hits, so I could see how it would be confusing. Yeah,
you were right, but I'm curious if the people believe that Sebi has any sort of feelings for Oates that aren't just I would like to bang you and then not talk to you once we leave this island. I
mean, maybe, but am I supposed to trust it? No. If I'm gonna again, it's the same thing I think from before. Like if I'm gonna basically do this with my fiance and screw up, am I gonna screw up for something like this, or that like after it was like, well, I've been good for this long. I had stopped basically falling for this. I had been clean from fuckboys for 8 years. I saw all my friends, out on a Saturday night. They were just smoking fuckboys, and I had been clean and sober from them for 8 years. And then I just, one time, it's easy to fall back into it. God. You ready for the messages, Mixie? Do you want to start with Rob and Gone Girl and their messages, the video messages? Oh, God.
I do. I wanted to ask you before we get into it. At what point when they started doing the pre-shots of everybody getting ready for their messages, were you like, Caitlyn, and Oates and Doorway are going to be the last two? Did you know it immediately? Did you know it? Did you take after the first couple went? Because I knew it once he said that they were doing messages that Doorway and Oates were going to be the last two.
I thought they would be too, but I thought it was because of different reasons. Yes. I thought it was going to be because he was going to say we're done, which he didn't do.
As he needed to. And
which was going to clearly be the end of the episode.
Yes.
He was going to say, I do not want to be with you anymore.
And I can't drag this out until the end of the season.
It's unfair to you to allow myself to be with Michaela.
Yep.
And for you to be confused about what's going on and for you not to be able to enjoy this experience. So I'm gonna end this right now via the message. But that's not at all what happened. And I think he instantly regretted that, and that's why we saw what played out. But I thought it would be for a different reason. But yes, I thought they would go last. Did you think right from the get-go as well?
Oh, immediately. Yeah. As soon as Mark stepped foot into that villa and Gone Girl tried to take him away from me, I knew that it was Doorway last.
I mean, not to get super serious, because we don't like doing that on this podcast. I think this is the relationship that people obviously care about.
Absolutely. Everybody knows the other ones are doomed.
Yeah, but even I'm not concerned about the other people nearly as much, not even remotely as close as I'm concerned for Oates and Doorway, and not just because we like them and they're clearly our favorite from the beginning. It's just because I think as a rational human being, you go these two have been together for 8 years and they're engaged. I am instantly more invested in this relationship because of this. And what each person does is just a little bit more and more and more. And you're just I am so. And I thought when they're an engaged couple, what the heck? There's no way this is going to go. But it was such a smart idea to put this couple on this show, no matter what the outcome is. Yeah. Because I am so much more invested, especially given what we have for the other three couples. But I digress.
I agree with you fully. And honestly, watching this breakdown and the way it is it's sort of hard to watch. I am concerned about next episode. But let's start at the beginning of the messages.
Okay.
Her girl Vanessa is first. She basically sent a corporate email that had a lot of words that meant absolutely nothing.
What the fuck was this?
I have no idea. I can't even quote a single word that she said because nothing happened in that.
She said nothing.
She said nothing.
She said nothing.
And then again, the most overpaid supporting actor on the show, Bryce, goes on and is trying to tell Robert, you know what I think this was? I think it was him trying to convince Robert to go back to her.
Yes.
So that he didn't have to deal with it.
Yes. That's exactly what it is. Hey, You're really missing out on a great girl.
Why don't you take her back? That would be a great idea. I mean, I'm enjoying myself with her, but I do think that it would be best if you came back and got her. Come get your girl.
Is she still behind me? She's left? Producer, she's still behind me? No. Rob, come get your girl. I don't want to deal with her outside of here. She's coming back for me. Oh, my God. You're so right. It's just like, oh, yeah. Remember how great she was? Right? I mean.
You miss that, don't you?
Yeah, you miss it. Like, and because I'm a man of my word, like, you technically had dibs first, and, all men abide by the rules of dibs. And, if you want her back, I guess I'll let her go. But, I don't know. It's up to you. But if you want her, I'll let her go.
I was laughing that entire time. It was so funny. I was just like, this guy wants her out of his life forever. And then again, we see Robert. We aren't seeing him, but he is saying that he is considering taking her back.
But in the video,
that's not what we got.
We got such a great response from Rob Roberto.
He spit facts.
God damn it, I loved it.
It was great.
We both have done things. We both need to make changes. We both have messed up. We both have our issues.
Mm-hmm.
And she, after all of her stuff, was just like, yeah, he. And then all of a sudden, Des comes up. I was not prepared for that.
My God. She wasn't either. The box was half closed, and then she goes, huh?
Who's this bitch? Excuse me, who the fuck are you?
The Des was so good of it all.
Fucking Des. Fucking Des deserves a standing ovation.
Des basically she was basically like, hey, you're really mean to him, and he's really nice, so I don't really know why, but, like, thanks for bringing a good dude here and then being a bitch so that it's really easy so that I don't have to, like, be worried about that situation.
She's like, you know how you brought this piece of garbage that you thought was to this island? Well, I've actually researched it and looked into it, and it's a fucking Rembrandt, so thanks a lot, you dumb cow. I'm gonna go cash this motherfucker in, but, hope you're having fun over there. See you later. And then Gone Girl just goes off, Mixie.
No, but it was delayed. The delay of it was fucking amazing. It was poetic. It was beautiful. She sits there. She's paused. There isn't like anger on her face, but there isn't like happiness. It's very much a pondering. And I'm sitting there like, okay, she's digesting. Maybe, once again, I have a very small glimmer of hope. Maybe she's starting to realize her issue in this. Maybe she's starting to, like, I don't know, self-reflect a little bit. And then they immediately cut to her in ITM, and it's, who the fuck do you think fucking made him that way, bitch? What the fuck? Who the fuck are you to say that? And I was in tears.
I did all that. Who you helped God? Who you think did all that? I did that, you bitch. I fucking chiseled that out of fucking clay, bitch. I painted it, and I put it in the kiln, and I fired it, and I brought it to Temptation Island, and I left it there.
I was fucking crying. Again, the ability to live in the delusion that is some of this stuff is crazy.
Amazing.
Crazy. For her to say that she's the reason that he is emotionally available when she literally has said multiple times that she cannot be emotionally available. It's very hard for her to express her emotions, but somehow that doesn't matter, and she was able to get him to be emotionally.
If you had not watched any of this show all year and you just watched their clips, you would understand their entire relationship. You would understand it all. He came in from the jump and was like, she gets on me. She blames everything on me. She's never willing to take any accountability for herself. I know that I have problems, but she won't admit to everything. Everything is my fault. I can't do anything right. She talks down to me. She says I'm not great. And literally the videos explain all that.
That's
She's
literally what she did.
I really hope you've gotten better. I really hope that you're taking this opportunity to be a better partner for me because I deserve the world.
Yeah.
And he's like, I hope we're both doing things. I think we both have issues, and I understand that. And I hope we both can be better people out of that. And she's like, no, fuck this fucking motherfucker. Who the fuck is this bitch? Who's this skinny ass bitch who's probably likes way more because she seems like a nice person.
Yeah. It was so funny. It was so funny.
God, it was great. That beat, you're right. What a shout out editor. Because like you had to leave the perfect beat because I bought it too, Mix. I was like, oh my God, it got through. Nope, never mind.
But not only did it not go through, it so opposite of went through.
It was like, oh, it went through. And then it's like bouncing off the fucking trampoline. No, shit.
So funny.
God. So great. So great.
We then go to Respectable Whore and Maricela. Maricela sends a video that, you're right, basically said nothing except for bye.
Yeah, she basically breaks up with him, right?
Yeah.
And she says, I'm great the way I am. I'm great. Getting up late is great. Not having great credit is great. Someone will love me for all of my faults. As long as I have a banging body and I straddle the guy with my shirt popped off.
Yep. I'm going to be great.
Is basically what I took from that thing. I'm going to be great. Yeah. Because listen, if I get up late and I have bad credit, but I'm an uggo, I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
But if you're smoking hot, good for you. Works for you.
Can figure it out.
Can figure it out. We'll find a guy.
Yes.
We'll just be like, she just gets up late and she's got bad credit. Who cares? She fucks like a fucking stallion. She walks around the house with the shirt popped off all the time.
Your eyes work, right? You see how she looks? Okay, cool.
Have you seen her? She's in bed right there. She said, when you're done podcasting, we're banging for 3 hours. Okay, I'll deal with the bad credit. She gets whatever she wants off Amazon. That's part of this trade, okay? It's part of the trade. We all have to deal with something in the relationship.
Yeah.
Some of you don't get to bang. I'm getting it all the time. So she's got bad credit and wants to wake up at 11 a.m. while I'm working. God bless her.
That's her decision to make.
She's an independent woman. I'm an ally.
Exactly. Ally. Then Maricela comes out. We knew that Christian Great Hair wasn't going to send a message. And honestly, I think that was the best case scenario. You shouldn't be sending messages. It's not your show. It's not about you. Sorry, Mark. It's not. Anyways, Respectable Whore can't even get itself together to send her a message.
Shocked by that, honestly. I was really surprised.
I don't think he has the ability to like keep it together for 30 seconds. I do not think that he could have.
You mean like he would have like started breaking down, or he would have just gone on a tangent?
Any of it, all of it. Like, I don't think if he had gone in with one thing, I don't think he could have made it a full 30 seconds staying on whatever one track he wanted to stay on. Got it. I like, part of me is like, did he record something and they just didn't show it to her? Or they showed it to her and they didn't show us. That's a possibility. Right. I will say it was shocking. The part that was shocking to me was that Alexa, why can't I remember her name?
Alexis. Yes.
Alexis sent one. I'm curious if Alexis knew that he didn't send one, because it's a bad look on both of them. I'm curious if he knew that she sent one, and if she knew prior to them like recording it and giving it to production and then realizing it after the fact.
I think they had to talk about that. I think her and Chris had to talk about that.
That is a terrible look on Respectable Whore. What an awful look. You can't talk to your fucking girlfriend that you're still technically with, but you can send the girl that you're banging on the side to talk to her? What?
Well, or did Alexis go and say, you have to send something? He's like, no, I don't. I don't have to do anything to her now. I gave her back to the streets. Did you not see me copy her 2 weeks ago? I gave her back to the streets. She's banging some guy. Like, we were in a relationship. We had rules. She didn't abide by the rules. I've been hanging out. I've wanted to bang multiple times with her. And I followed the rules that she set up for me.
Yeah.
And then she broke the rules. I don't have anything to say at this point. She knows. So why am I going to do anything? What am I going to say at this point that does not need to be said?
If that conversation happened, she shouldn't have sent a message. If that conversation happened, then I stand by. She still shouldn't have sent a message.
I think maybe I see your perspective. I think maybe Alexis felt the need to go and say, I don't to a woman. I can't go. I can't have her not get anything. That's almost more embarrassing that she opens it up and there are no videos.
I don't know. I think I'd rather have had no videos than the girl that's banging my current boyfriend and not him.
She didn't see the spoon bang yet.
No, but I don't think it matters. I think that I don't think it matters either way. It's still a girl that he's seeing had more balls to send her a message than he did. That's the point.
The problem that I didn't have a problem with Alexis's message per se, because I can see how she was like, well, if you don't, I can see him being like, oh, I don't care if you send one, whatever. And she sent one to be like, hey, he's trying. He hasn't badmouthed you once. I know you think he's probably badmouthed you.
She was nice about it, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't Trace 2.0 it later. And it was just like, hey, he's trying to be nice. He's trying to become a better person. I've seen him from the beginning. We didn't really get along at first, and now we have a very close relationship, and I just think you should know that he was trying, and he feels, maybe a little betrayed. And then it ends, and then Maricella's like, she said, like, he can't even leave me a message. I need a man to be more of a man and a leader, and I told him multiple times. And I'm like, well, I feel like he's tried to do that. Like, I know we've joked about this whole credit thing and waking up early.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what a man and a leader of a relationship is trying to do. He's trying to get you to be a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought that was a bad choice of words. And I know we keep laughing about credit score and waking up early, but like, I feel like that's what he's doing.
Yeah, you can't be upset that he's trying to help you and then get mad that he's not taking initiative. Like, that doesn't work.
That he didn't leave a message. That's like, they're not the same things. He didn't leave a message because he felt betrayed because you set up rules and within 6 days you're in bed with another guy. Like, I don't like, that is just, for a guy to see that is just like why did I even fucking come here?
Totally.
Were you ready to do this from the moment we got here?
Yes. Spoiler alert. Yes.
How long have you been waiting to do this? Like, we interviewed about this show 3 months ago. Were you willing to bang somebody 3 months ago? Like, what have we been doing for the past relationship?
Yeah.
But yeah, she said all that, and I'm like, nah, I'm not buying any of that. Like, I'm not here for it. I don't know.
It was interesting, that whole situation. I still stand by they're not getting back together. It's not happening.
No, I don't think so now. But I think didn't you say something like you think he would crack at some point? And like,
I do think he'll crack. I think that and I still stand by that. I think he's going to crack and try to get her back, and she's long gone.
Got it. Okay. All right.
We move on to Croissant and Great.
Yes.
Croissant basically says in so many words that she is embarrassed and go fuck yourself, pretty much.
Her video just wasn't it for me.
It wasn't.
Great looked confused. I was confused. America was confused.
Some of these videos, it's like, I honestly think what happened with some of these people is that they were like, I don't know what to say. Production, can you help me? And then production just like chat GPT'd what to say and then gave them a script. Like, that's what it sounds like for half of these. And I remember that being the case last time, too.
They weren't great, were they?
No. It was a lot of words that really didn't say much.
I think, though, they're putting a limit on how much they can say.
Probably.
Because everybody's videos are like, they're like, you have 400 characters to say what you need to say. And I do think some of these people who have seen their, like, other person bang are like, what am I supposed to say? Like,
yeah,
it's a video message. I'm disappointed. It destroyed me. Great. Whatever. But just the way Croissant phrased it, I was just like, huh? Is he understanding this? And he's just looking at it like, maybe if I squint more, it'll make sense.
Yeah, and shout out to G for not sending a fucking video message. Again, these guys, I don't understand why they're the only smart ones on here to not send one.
They get it.
The great video was so funny to me. And he said the same thing that he said in this video at some point in an ITM. He says that he's realizing that he has trust issues. And I just sat there like, you cheated on her twice before coming on this show and you have trust issues?
Yeah, but we've talked about this before.
What, that they're not a real couple?
Well, that potentially. But I'm a firm believer on this from a male perspective. If the guy cheats on you and you let him back into the relationship and you say it's okay, that everything's on you.
Yes.
You have wiped the slate clean. We're starting from zero.
Absolutely.
You can't keep bringing that up years later. Well, you cheated on me 4 years ago. We're still on this?
I agree with that. I do.
Like, what's the fucking problem here? We got back together. You're cool with it. I have trust issues because I didn't know what would happen if I left you alone. And the first night you're saying you're going to suck some guy's dick if a camera wasn't there. In what reality? Yes, he's banging Trace 2.0, but it was after she said she was going to suck a dick to other people.
Yeah.
Not in the ITM where it's just like, if the cameras weren't there, I was going to have some fun. She was asked, do you see the relationship going further? And it wasn't like, did you, want to do something with him? Yeah, I wanted to suck his dick. No. Do you see this going further? Oh, yeah, I would have sucked his dick if the camera wasn't there. Not the correct answer, croissant. I love you, but, what a crazy thing. Great thing earlier when her video finished and she said all those things. He just destroyed me because he goes, I think she's delusional. And I was fucking great. Fucking great. Oh, God.
Funny. But then we get so great since his, again, another video that really didn't say much. It was just the trust issue thing sent me. And then Trace 2.0 comes on screen. And
I wasn't prepared. Mixie, I wasn't prepared. I don't know why, but my brain shut off the fact that potentially Trace 2.0 would be there. And I was also surprised. I was like, oh, yeah, she can send a video.
I didn't even listen to what she said. I was too busy fucking sobbing at the fact that Croissant started cracking her knuckles while she was watching the video.
Mama, fuck this bitch up. Oh, I love her so much.
I love her so much. She is an icon. I love it. I was just like, and she looked so good in that outfit. And she walked away and she was pissed. You could see it in her eyes. She was so mad. I was like, let her go over there. Let her go over there.
What we didn't see is her going back in the village. Zeke, let's go. Pants off right now. Right now.
And Tajique's like, yes, Miss Croissant, I'll do anything for you,
She's
Croissant.
like, get that fucking baby oil out, bitch. Pour it over yourself. Rub yourself down and tell me how good I look in this pink dress. It's like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll do what you say, my queen.
So fucking funny. And
God, that was great. With Trace, what a terrible video from Trace.
She's such a bitch. She's such a goddamn bitch.
Embracing the villain role in that video.
Yeah, she really did.
She knows. I think this is the first time that I'm like, maybe she's playing a character here.
I don't care. Either way, like, that's a human being on the other side of that, and you're fucking sitting there, unless they aren't really in a relationship together at any point in time, which is still up in the air. Then I don't feel as bad about it, but like, she sat there and said in so many words that she's fucking him.
Didn't she say at the end, okay, bye? And I was like, oh, that would have thrown me more than anything else.
She like giggled.
Yeah. I thought Paris was going to take that box and just fucking launch it into the ocean. I was like, throw it into the Pacific.
Frisbee that shit.
Throw it into the Pacific, croissant.
And then we get to the last couple. This one hurt.
I don't even want to think about this one.
This one hurt bad.
Because I feel like I know these people.
Doorway, I'm like, okay, he's got to say something.
I'm so disappointed with Doorway.
I was so disappointed with Doorway. What the fuck, my guy? You know she's going to the next bonfire and seeing every single clip of you saying you're not going to marry her. You're the happiest you've ever been. You're living in the dream. You're going to break up with her. Like, she's going to see all of them. Fucking say it to her face, please. And he doesn't say anything. He just like heaps praise on her, which is weird.
I thought he was heaping the praise because it was coming, right?
Same. And then the screen went black and I was like, what?
He was like, Okay, let me give her praise. Destroy her world. Not what happened.
But Michaela did it for him, basically. This was not a good look on Michaela. I agree with what you're saying about this generally, that they were probably fed lines, but...
She knocked it out of the fucking park, Michaela did. Knocked it out of the park.
It was...
She was like, what are all the buzzwords I could say here that's going to... let me say soulmate. Let me throw that one in there.
She said true love, soulmate, and that they connected on the same family values.
He has everything I want in a partner, husband, and father of my children. Thanks for bringing him to me. And I was like, how do I give Oates a hug?
I didn't like this from her. I did not like this from her. It was a little nasty. I do think that she probably didn't know what the storyline and the buildup was, and they fed her this, and she just read it. But it's clear production knew what they were doing. That was rough.
I think she was like, I don't know what to say. Why do you guys want me to say something? She's like, I don't want to say anything. You heard me in the beginning saying, I don't want to talk to her. That's not a good look. I'm not talking to her fiance. And they're like, we need you to say something. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, I don't want to. We need you to say something. Here, we wrote it for you. You don't even have to come up with it. You can change a few words here. But
True love, soulmate, and father of my children. Like, whoa.
That's too far. I do think some of that was true. I do think some of it is like, she's like, I mean, listen, she's getting guys just throwing at herself all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have enough time to get to know somebody who is not one of these guys who's always hitting on her, who's like, oh, I'll take you to Marrakesh and to the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And he's just like a normal dude. And you're like, oh, normal dudes are great. Oh, normal dudes are awesome. They're not stuck up, arrogant pieces of shit who bang everything that moves. Mm-hmm. And so I do think some of that's in there. Like, oh, I didn't think like guys who I could be interested in would actually be like cool and not dicks and stuff. So I think that was there, but that other stuff, father of my children, husband, like that was just in there to like fucking turn the screws.
Soulmate?
Yeah, turn the screws on fucking.
It was a knife twist after a knife twist after a knife twist. It was rough. And I don't know how she sat through that.
I have a confession to make. I was there. I had my hand on her shoulder. They CGI'd it out.
Well, that makes more sense. I'm glad that you were there for her.
She felt comfort in my hand on her shoulder, yes.
We then cut to Doorway, who I don't even think he watched or listened to anything past the first sentence of what Oates said. He is absolutely a goddamn mess.
Yeah, he lost it. This is the template of all future videos, right?
What do you mean?
She crushed it. I think she crushed this video.
Oh, she destroyed it. She did a fantastic job. She was absolutely perfect. And I think that it destroyed him. I am curious how he was able to convince production to let him go over there.
Because this is not like The Bachelor.
Yeah, no.
They're like, okay, why would we not?
Yeah.
Why would we not do that? We're going to make them sit in the thing and he's going to stew over this for 2 more weeks. It's the same stuff we've just had out of their relationship. Mm-hmm. We want her to make out with the other guy. She's clearly not going to do that unless they break up. We think he's going to break up with her. What a great moment this would be for the television show. Nobody's asked this before. Why not?
Yeah.
This is our cliffhanger. Perfect.
Maybe that it was just new for them, and that's why they were like, yeah, sure, fuck it, whatever.
Brought in the bang light. Well, let him go over there. Especially, I think they had to like pre-interview him. What are you going to say? You can't just like go over there and it's like, well, you could have put that in the video. And they're like, he's like, I got to break up with her. I can't let her sit over there and like for another 3 weeks. Like she's going to hear 2 weeks ago that I said I'm out. Mm-hmm. And then I don't say that in my video. Mm-hmm. I think he regretted not saying it in the video.
I do too.
And then he's like, I got to go say something. I'm already going to be ridiculed for doing this. I can't even just add more gas to the fire.
Or he wanted to break up with her in person. Production refused, so he sent a fluff piece video. And then he was like, and then after watching her video, he was like, I gotta go do this now. Like, I refuse to film anymore. You need to take me to her now.
There you go. I think he could have put his foot down and go, I'm just not going to say anything for the rest of the time. I'm going to sit here and be silent.
I would love to know how that all played out. That would be
I'll just eat my meals and I'll lay in my room and I'll do nothing. And I'll tell Michaela not to come in. You won't get anything from me from the rest of the season.
Doorway, hit us up. Let us know what happened. I want to know.
DMs are open.
Always.
DMs are open. Void that NDA, my guy.
Yeah. We're not going to tell anybody shit.
Yeah, we're not going to tell anybody shit. This show's fucking amazing. The end of this.
Incredible.
Like him walking in there, the way he was walking in, like he was a man on a fucking mission. I was like, is that Jason Bourne? Oh, no, it's Doorway.
She knew. She got up and
you think so?
I think the very last thing she said was, don't do this.
So you think...
He's breaking up there.
Well, I think that's what... I think they want to give us hope, and they may have tricked me a little bit that he is going to go, I'm really sorry. I'm willing to leave right now. I'll fix my stuff. I think that's what they wanted you to think a little bit.
That's not what he's doing.
You thought the whole time, no matter what, he's breaking up.
He said something like, I can't hide this anymore.
And you think as soon as she saw him, she knew he was coming to break up with her? Oh, Oates!
I don't think Oates will say a single word next episode that isn't accompanied with crying. We're about to watch her get her entire life taken away from her.
Hey, Oates, can you send us your address? We will send you a care package to watch next week's episode.
Yes,
we will. Send you some tissues. Let us know what you need. We'll get it on Amazon. We'll send you the care package. Maybe some of the hotties can contribute.
Yes, we would love to.
And we'll send you just a great care package. So just let us know.
This is not going to be good.
No.
I mean, it's going to be great TV, but we are going to watch this girl be torn apart.
Production is loving
this. God. This has to be the best season of Temptation Island.
Easily. You got an engaged couple about to break up in the middle of the show?
Well, like, what's the bonfires going to be for her then after this? Like, and him.
Do they just go home now?
Yeah.
Like, do they show them any clips? Do they show up to the bonfire?
Wow.
Like, also, Maricela was basically like, we're done, so why would they show Chris anything?
Yeah, but I think that he was still, like, holding out hope on that, because she didn't specifically say it. She said it, but she didn't say it.
She didn't say, we're broken up.
Yes.
She goes,
I want you to find your happiness, because I've found mine.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
What an episode. What a time to be alive. Next episode, I finished it, and I was like, God damn it. I watched this on Friday. This is Saturday today. So we have how many days until we're going to be able to see the next episode?
You had the exact same thought that I did, didn't you?
I immediately was like, I would sell my fucking kidney to see this next episode.
I was like, is there like some sort of query I can run to try to find this on a server somewhere? Like, let me see the next episode. Is it already uploaded and they just haven't sent it to us yet? Like, I need to know all of these things.
This is a rough wait. Rough wait.
It's going to be the hardest. It's the hardest one of the entire year to try to not pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things that we try not to pay attention to.
Oh, man.
It's liars. So as many of you know, we read a review last week, a 2-star review from somebody who had some emojis in their name, and I called them out. They said they were going to stop listening up after episode 4, which was a few weeks ago. So I called them out for a few things. I said, well, your name's got emojis in it. That's kind of weird. And also, you left us a 2-star review, so we did something right. And as I do from time to time, I checked our reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? The review has changed. The name has changed. The review's the same. It's still from the same date. Name has changed. There's no more emojis in it. And now we've been downgraded to a 1-star. So guess what? You are still listening, so congratulations. Hey, welcome back, new friend. Hey, good to see ya. What a great time. I hope you enjoyed me yelling this week. Just don't lie. Just don't lie. That's all you have to do is just don't lie. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. That one was just for you. Hey, you didn't think we'd see that shit? I'm fucking all over it, my guy.
what a good time. If you could help us get back to 4.5 stars and not be this jerk that keeps commenting and changing his username because he can't handle any criticism whatsoever, but loves to dish it out to others, please go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. We would greatly appreciate that. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for checking out the YouTube.
We will take all the smoke. All of it.
Thank you for subscribing to YouTube. Thank you for commenting on YouTube. We appreciate you. We love you. We will see you next episode for sure, because holy shit, there's going to be so much to talk about. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.